Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is Sean, and today we got to talk about this case out of Florida, where a woman who happened to be a TikTok influencer decided that it was appropriate to run a scam against Target, where she removed barcodes from inexpensive items, placed those barcodes on more expensive items, and then utilized the self-checkout in order to steal from said Target. Now, she likely would have gotten away with this, even though the employees figured it out, and it was caught on surveillance video, but the thing is, she kind of decided to upload this entire crime onto TikTok as a day in the lifestyle content, and I find this to be absolutely amazing. Now, we're going to get into this, but before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
A woman with hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok is accused of stealing from a Cape Coral Target and then flaunting those stolen goods on her TikTok page.
The woman at the center of this is 22-year-old Marlena Velez, who made headlines last month after she was arrested for allegedly stealing 16 items worth more than $500 from the Target store in Cape Coral, and she was identified in part from TikTok videos that she shared that day to her nearly 400,000 followers. And what's hilarious about this is that the New York Post has an image that looks like a perfect example of her expression when she found out that her TikTok was used against her. Now, according to the New York Post and according to surveillance video and body cam footage that accompanies that surveillance video, this is actually the second time that this woman has been arrested for stealing from this Target, and it appears, based on the surveillance video that is on your screen right here, that she's using the exact same method in order to do so. That being said, we do have original footage of that first arrest, and I want to play that for you because this woman is shocked and chagrined that she ultimately ended up getting caught the first time.
So I'm gonna need you to put your hands behind your back.
Wait, what?
Put your hands behind your back.
Wait,
Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it.
I have to put
Hold
shoes
on. I will
on.
talk to you in a second. All right? Just give us a second. Just give us a second.
Bro, this is why I told you. Sydney. Call my dad, call my grandma, tell him to call my lawyer now.
Nothing illegal. Take a seat. We'll have a female officer here in a second. Sure. Oh, stay with her? Yeah, stay with her.
But for some reason, after being busted at that very Target for that very same crime, she decided to double up on her efforts by filming the second time that she committed this crime, which is likely nowhere near the second time. It's likely the 50th time. Who the hell knows? Again, she was so bold to post this online as a form of a day in the lifestyle content.
NBC2's Hope Salmon is live at the Target on Pine Island Road with the video that landed that woman in jail.
So it is very important for you guys to understand two things about this particular story and about this particular local news segment. First and foremost, the woman that is presenting this news, the on-the-ground reporter, she is called Hope Salmon. Now, you may not believe that is important information for you to carry with you in your hearts until your final day, but I assure you that will come into play later. But in addition to that, the way that this woman was caught is that after this crime was reported, the Coral police, who actually take retail theft seriously, ended up posting the images of this woman in the store that day, and one of her own followers ended up screen recording the video and turning her in.
Cape Coral police say the woman was shopping at this super Target. She recorded herself putting her bags in her trunk, and then she posted it on TikTok for her followers. But not all of them are friends. Some might be foes because they tipped off police. Cape Coral police say Marlena Velez didn't hide the evidence. Instead, they say she posted what she stole for her nearly 300,000 followers on TikTok to see.
Wow, that's crazy. I can believe that.
Cape Coral police say Velez stole clothes, cups, and other home goods from the Target on Pine Island Road on October 30th. It was an anonymous tip that helped catch her after a Crime Stoppers post asked people to identify her.
I think that was right to do in that situation because it's not right to steal.
Now, we get some reaction from people on the ground. Some people are stunned by the stupidity of Marlena Velez for posting this online, but other individuals who are reacting to the fact that a TikTok audience member is the one who ended up turning her in to Crime Stoppers are actually reacting with sane and rational responses, saying, yeah, I think it is the right thing to to do because stealing is wrong. Now, of course, if you ask Cenk's nephew about stealing and stealing specifically from self-checkout, for whatever reason, he is under the belief, as he repeated over and over again to Cenk on Thanksgiving, that stealing from self-checkout, no big deal, nothing to worry about, not that serious, and for some reason, it doesn't count as theft at all when you really think about it.
The overarching number of thefts that were occurring were not actually happening as a direct consequence of like organized retail theft, because no one is going to be able to steal billions of dollars worth of merchandise by organizing retail theft. It was actually happening, and you might like this, you might appreciate this, because of fucking automation. It was happening because normal Americans, when they go into a store and they do self-checkout, which is more beneficial for corporations because now you don't have to pay benefits for cashiers. Now you don't have to, pay a whole bunch of people to actually sit at the cash register. Now you don't have to do workers' comp. Now you don't have to do paid, family leave or anything like that, or no health care. Now you just have an automated machine that one person is controlling every now and then. In that process, they realized that shrink would actually go up, because people would just go in and maybe put a Snickers bar in there and toss it in their bag. That is why shrink went up.
Because all you're doing is stealing from the robots. But in reality, in actuality, yes, this has consequences. And we see time and time again in places where they don't enforce laws against retail theft, that these businesses ultimately, through the weight of that theft, end up closing. People end up having to pay more for goods at other stores. And of course, people who work at those stores end up losing their jobs. So good job for the Coral Police in Florida actually addressing this, and of course, terrible job for the woman, the mommy influencer, who's trying to take you through a day in her life, just trying to provide for her children when all she has is 400,000 Tik followers, and however is she going to monetize that in a legitimate way and actually pay for the home goods that she desperately needs to feed her innocent little baby children?
I think that was right to do in that situation because it's not right to steal.
You can see in this video, she did have Target bags. Police say she got away with this because she scanned fake barcodes at the self-checkout line.
In this day and age, I definitely expect anything out of social media, and I think a lot of things are fake out in the world as far as internet goes, so yeah, I could believe that.
So yeah, this woman is not surprised by this being posted on social media. She says everything happens to be fake on social media, but in this particular case, unfortunately for the suspect, this is 100% real. This actually happened. She actually uploaded it, and now her own TikTok content is being utilized against her in order to prosecute her, and again, deservedly so. This person had already been arrested for shoplifting at this very same Target. She already should be facing the consequences of that previous arrest, and yet, because she hadn't been adjudicated guilty yet in that particular case, guess what? She's out there doing it again, doing it boldly, and so comfortable doing it that she was able to film it and upload it on the internet. And I hope the person who ended up reporting her ends up getting whatever reward that they offered through Crime Stoppers. But this just goes to show you that we do have some change in the culture in some parts of this country where people are actively engaged with their community, and they're not going to allow theft and this kind of nonsense to go on unchallenged on their watch. So again, big ups to the person who churned this woman in. It's an absolutely hilarious story, and for everybody who thinks stealing is so much fun and so joyful that they're willing to upload it on social media, maybe think twice about your crimes, or better yet, don't think twice about your crimes, because I would love to continuously catch people that are posting their own criminality on the internet.com. Now, she has since deleted the TikTok video that also showed her documenting herself picking out the very same items that were stolen from the Target and placing them in her cart afterward. But of course, somebody screen recorded this video, and that's how we have the evidence. Now, the TikToker also has a lengthy additional criminal history, including in 2019 when she was arrested at age 17 for grand theft auto charges for stealing her friend's vehicle and crashing it. Velez was also arrested in July of 2023 for shoplifting at a Walmart in Cape Coral. Now again, for everybody who's is going to tell me that this is just an innocent baby angel Aladdin who is just trying to steal some clothes and steal some home goods in order to provide for her starving children, that does not explain her previous criminal history, the fact that she stole a vehicle from one of her friends, then ended up crashing it, and of course, obviously because she was 17, and because she was a woman, because women get lower sentences than men on average, she appeared to have gotten slap on the wrist after slap on the wrist, and eventually that ended up leading to her to get to this point where she has the followers, she has the ability to theoretically monetize herself, she has the ability to ask people in her audience for money if she were to choose. I'm sure she has no ethical qualms about that, in the same way that I have about doing that with my own audience, which by the way is around 400,000 YouTube subscribers. But instead she decided to steal, she decided to execute this plan as she has done before, because of course the rules don't apply to her. Marlena Velez, she's a famous TikToker, she's a criminal that has gotten away with it time and time again, so why would she expect any consequences, and why would she expect the very fame that she's pursuing to end up working against her? Now, I will also point out that people had said that she deactivated her entire TikTok account. Apparently it is back up. She may have changed the name of said TikTok account, and while I do not advocate for her to be deplatformed, because let's be clear, she hasn't been adjudicated a criminal, I do want to point out that TikTok is one of the most repressive platforms that removes people at the drop of the hat, but apparently committing crimes and broadcasting them on the platform of TikTok, no big deal, nothing to worry about.
Cape Coral Police want to remind you that nothing you post is actually private. You never know who your friends know, and even after you delete something, authorities can still find it.
So for whatever reason, maybe the graphics guy got bored over at the local NBC affiliate down in Florida, Hope Salmon ends up doing a fake Instagram live just to remind you guys that no matter what you post on the internet.com, it is not private, it lasts forever, and it can be used against you in a court of law. Thank you for this totally unnecessary graphic or fake Instagram live thing that you're doing right there to tell us something that we already know. And again, I will just ask the question, who is this for? Other than the fact that I found this to be entertaining, ironically, who does this benefit, you switching to the vertical view for the Instagram.com live thing? It doesn't make any sense to do this. Cut it out. Cut out the nonsense. I understand that this is probably meant to imitate TikTok, not Instagram, now that I think about it. But other than that, shut your face, Hope. Shut your face.
Yeah, I would assume that even if you are stealing something, that you shouldn't post about it, because then it makes it okay for all of your followers to think that it's okay.
Now look, I don't know how old these two young ladies are, but to me, they're basically children's. And when children's understand that it is inappropriate to steal, it's inappropriate to post your thefts on social media because that can encourage other people to participate in these crimes. To me, that shows you that this is not a difficult moral question. This is not a complicated moral issue. It may be complicated for the multi-millionaire Jenks nephew who thinks that somehow stealing from the self-checkout is completely different from shoplifting and therefore shouldn't be counted as retail theft. But for normal people who work normal jobs or live in normal middle-class areas that actually shop at Target, that actually shop at Walmart, the idea of you stealing and then broadcasting that theft is not okay. It's not good. It is obviously immoral. And yes, it is all of those things.
And this morning, Velez got something else she didn't pay for, handcuffs. She was arrested.
Oh, right there. Look at that. Hope Salmon dropping a joke at the end that Marlena Velez got something else that she didn't pay for. And guess what? Those were handcuffs because she got arrested. Comedy stylings from Hope Salmon. I am so impressed by this. Also, I want to point out that her last message, which is don't believe everything you see on the internet.
This is a good reminder not to believe everything you see.
Is actually totally contradictory and false, because in this particular case, she quite literally videotaped her committing the theft, and this is the evidence that is used against her, and thus we should believe that and it was posted on the internet, plus this local news segment is also posted on the internet, so I am really confused, but I do appreciate, if I'm being perfectly honest, the handcuffs joke. Now look, that is all I really have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. As per usual, if you like this video, then you show me by leaving a like. You can subscribe for more content. You can follow me on all of my social medias. They are linked in the description. Support me via the support links also in the description. This has been me talking about a tickety talker getting busted by her own TikToks. Till next time.